Core News project has a number of challenges that we try and overcome. The first thing really is about funding, and I think everybody talks about that, don't they? We didn't get as much funding as we asked for. We only got half, but it was enough for us to start the project up, to get some basic resources, and therefore be able to plan using the space. In the area where we are, we're quite lucky because space is a premium. It's very expensive, but we've managed to share a space with another organisation. And it's working quite well. It's not as big a space as we want. We could potentially, if we grow out, have to move away from that space. But if we were based in a different borough, I think we'd probably find a space easier and it'd be cheaper. The other thing is getting sustainable income. What we wanted to do was to get people joining us as trainees, but using their personal budgets. The idea of that would be the money comes from social services, it's more sustainable. Provided you keep trainees happy and they want to stay with you, the money comes with them. The Core News project provides transport free for some of the trainees that come to us. The idea was of providing that free was to eventually get rid of the transport and make sure everybody was travelling independently. That's a challenge for the trainees, but it's also a challenge for us to support those trainees to travel them independently to and from the project. That's a key skill that they would need if they're going to get into the labour market. The other area that Core News project has a challenge, if you like, is to do with distribution. We do have places that we go and drop the newspaper off, but it's quite small compared to, say, we print 5,000 copies. We need to make sure most of those are distributed. We had just under 1,000 copies left over from the first edition. What we started to do is give people in the project employment opportunities by paying them to distribute the newspaper. But ultimately, we need newspaper stands. We need somewhere in the borough where we can actually place the newspapers and people see us and identify with us. But until then, we have our network of organisations that we distribute to. But that's still a big challenge for us. And I think if we can get the distribution right, then we can look at bringing in sponsorship, maybe looking at organisations like supermarkets or other big employers who might want to advertise in the newspaper. We were a bit anxious about that because we didn't want to be looking like a vehicle for cheap advertising, but also we want to reflect as a real newspaper. Not many newspapers are free, that have no adverts in, and it is a free newspaper for everybody in the borough.